use your skull as a bowl. Who will never ever sell their soul? No. Who's stoking up the coals of hell? Who cannot be controlled? You know it's we three trolls, we three trolls. Now don't you get your overalls in a twist, y'all, but this podcast ain't endorsed by that world-famous comedy store or any kind of world-famous nothing. These three folks are just too rude, you hear? Who goes to the grassy knoll on an evening stroll? You know it's we three trolls, we three trolls. Yee-hoo! Get ready to be offended, y'all.
We can talk about Rambo because I watched it for you.
We can talk about Rambo,
I watched it for
or we
you.
can talk about rape in the comedy community.
This is going to be a 4-hour
What's the
podcast.
difference?
Well, you know, they're dropping like flies. So
Those are just spots for you and me, Earl.
Dude,
We're moving up the hourly ladder.
Yeah. At the Comedy Store, I'm 3 spots early now. Yeah. Maybe more by the time this airs.
So you start at 6 p.m. and before they open the doors?
I mean, I'm definitely on in the midnight hour.
You're the warm up guy or the cool down.
Well, I mean,
hype man?
Who knows? You know, I mean, it seems like there's a new accusation every other day. So
I don't know. I'm in the camp that doesn't believe all women. I feel like I'm a very honest person, but I've also lied a lot. But never about rape or anything like that.
Yeah, you
actually
did.
one time.
Yeah.
One time.
You talked about it on the
I said I got
podcast before.
molested one time. I never got molested, but I never accused. There was a fake person, so I never accused the person. I just did it for attention from a stranger. That's how fucking psychotic that is.
You're supposed to believe women, except when they tell you they're 20.
Yeah.
Or their body count. When they tell you their body count, they are always fucking lying.
Yeah.
Double it, triple it, quadruple it with some of these whores. This is Hollywood, baby. You're gonna have to.
I don't like when people just jump on famous people immediately after they've been people that I
hate
know.
that too. Yeah.
People, comedians that I know. And I'm not saying famous people in general. Just people that I know that I'm like, okay, they're just pervs and they like go after girls. Okay, so that's a man. Okay, that's a man. A man that's going to hit on women, and a man that's in a position who's good looking and makes money and is famous. And he's going to try to fuck 10s. Right? Am I right?
Absolutely.
And you earned
that. You earned those.
By the way,
11s.
By the way, they're not going to try to get with a girl that's older and try to have a relationship. They're trying to fuck. So they're trying to go after dummies. Women who are young are dummies, okay? I'm not saying they should be with women under 21.
Aren't looking to do that anyway. It's not like some older chick is like, I just can't wait to fucking get to Dalia.
No, they don't have anything in common. The dad maybe. Somebody stable and willing to settle down. They're not willing to date guys that are just like, I'm a one-night stand guy. Yeah, any girl can get a one-night stand. We're not interested in that. Older women are not interested in that. It's
that's the problem,
funny.
though, is you burn these young girls. Like any girl who's 18 to say 25, Gen Z, I guess they call. Like, if you burn them, they're gonna burn you. You fuck over a 40-year-old woman, she's just gonna fuck your friend.
Yeah. Yeah, they're a little bit more
realistic
about it. Yeah, realistic. Yeah.
Vengeance, but a 22-year-old girl, 19, 18, they're gonna screenshot everything you sent them, a dick pic, whatever, and they're gonna.
They already have.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
They've been spreading that shit around for fucking months before you ever did
showing
anything
their
to piss
friends,
them off.
Like, it's already a
dick
web
pics are hilarious
out
to
there,
girls.
you
They're
know?
hilarious.
Yeah, they're definitely not jilling off to it.
No.
Why
No.
would they?
And the only guys that really send dick pics are guys with hogs anyway. Because the guys that don't have hogs won't send you a fucking dick pic.
Yeah.
They're not going to.
Mine's epic. Like,
Yeah. I've seen it.
Mine's
You've
not
passed
great,
it around
but I
the
always
comedy
make
store.
the pictures
The phone
great,
anyway.
you know?
I've seen it in person, but.
Well, no, I would
Yeah.
never show it to you in person.
But that's what I'm saying. Comedians are not normal. Why would you date a comedian expecting them to not do weird shit all the time? They're fucking comedians, dude.
Well, you can do weird stuff. Just make sure they're above 18. Like,
Yeah,
that's
okay,
literally
that sounds
the only
good.
rule.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't fuck anyone under 18, and you're good. At least in my eyes.
I don't know if that's the only rule, though.
It should be.
Because it doesn't seem to be, though. Because even, some people will get a bad rap even if the person is of age.
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
Like when I was 46, I dated a 19-year-old for a year, and I saw nothing wrong with it, because I actually liked her. But some people were like, "Oh, that's creepy," and it's like, I don't think it is. It's nice they're 18.
It's up to the girl too. Like a lot of women are a lot more mature than guys at 18.
Yeah,
like if, in your nature as a woman, you're more nurturing. You're like, oh, I gotta help this. You're not gonna try to fuck them. You know what I mean? Like that's fucking weird to me. I don't know. But men, I think, are just different makeup. Men are just like, hey, that's a girl. She's of age. Let's say she's 18 years old. She's still young and probably retarded, but they're more developed. Women develop quicker than men. So to me, I don't get upset by that personally. I'll make fun of you and be like, dude, what do you guys talk about? Like they're fucking retarded. You could find a smart 21-year-old though. Like you know what I mean?
To them regardless of their age. What does it matter?
That's true. That's true
but
too.
a number when it comes to
I mean, when I was
listening to
21, I was at the time I was married and I had fucking owned houses. I had a business. Like I was better off then than I am now, and I'm 35 now. You know what I mean? So it's like women are completely different, but just follow the fucking rules, man. Especially if you're famous and you have something to lose. Like, goddamn, dude.
18 young enough though? Like to me, the fucking 18-year-old would be really nice. I
It
sure
is.
wasn't fucking 18-year-olds when I was 18.
I think it's a little too young. 18, maybe 21. Okay, you can actually go out and have a good time together. But like 18 is like you're actually. You're not a drinker, but like,
come on.
what are you gonna go do? You know what I mean? Like, you can't go out and like have drinks together and have fun.
You can
You
smoke
do
weed.
certain things.
You can go to concerts and stuff. I mean, that's what I did. And
Yeah, that. But it's like only you're limited of what you could do, and that's where I understand why people are like, hey, it's creepy. I don't personally fucking care.
Yeah, but
But,
you're
like-
also limited if you're dating a handicapped person. You
That's
wanna
very
Hey,
true.
man, why are you dating that person? You can't go on hikes with them, you fucking loser.
Well, comedy though, there's a power dynamic.
Yes.
And whether you're a popular open micer and a newer comic sees you and I want to get in with this guy or girl, at the Comedy Store, there's many power dynamics up there. But I've had it happen. Oh my God, you were so funny on Roast Battle. How do I do it? And you could take advantage of your level above, the girl, or it happens.
Yeah, but it even happens with girls around here. People think the casting couch is just dudes fucking these chicks, but guess what? These chicks fuck these dudes. They make you fuck them. Mitzi Short made people fuck her before she passed them. This is just Hollywood, dude. It's a fucked up place.
I don't know if she made them or if they just really wanted to fuck her.
I mean, listen, if I get past
power move
and
by a
get
guy.
pussy, I'd fucking jump on that.
yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, she was the only woman in power in time.
And she was pretty attractive during the time that she was doing that stuff.
I mean, can you imagine if the booker of the store was female? Like the power that she would feel. Like every comic would
She could
fuck
fuck
her.
any fat, loveless turd she wanted.
Or a
Do you
good
think
looking
that,
turd.
Do you
Or,
think that would
yeah.
be good or bad dynamic? Do you think that's a better dynamic? Because then you don't have you don't have as much ability for like just the hot chick to get by, right?
I mean, it's tough. I
It
mean,
would be tough for women. Tougher.
Because women
It would just
sometimes
have to be
are
actual
more
funny
critical.
bitches getting through.
On women sometimes. You know what I mean? They end up
More
being
critical because it's. I think it's like because we know the game. You're like that cutesy shit doesn't work. Like girls that try to get favors from me because they know I work at the store, for instance, that happens a lot. Like because I bartend there, and I'm just like, I don't want to fuck you though. Like why are you you're like actually flirting with me like a man right now, and like you would to another man. And I don't want to have sex with you. So stop doing that. And I've had conversations with other waitresses and people that work there and stuff like that
I thought Punky was your friend.
Oh,
Oh no, Punky doesn't need me. She don't need me. But I'm saying like other comedians that are female that are trying to rub up on me, not always sexual, but trying to be friendly. I'm like, I can't do anything for you. That's what makes me laugh. I'm like, what do you think? You think I have some kind of power here? I'm like, I'm liked because I'm a real person. I'm not fucking trying to fuck people over, and that's why people trust me. You have to earn that trust on your own. Like, I've developed my own relationships. That's on you to develop your own relationships. You know what I mean? Like, it's like I sense that immediately, and it usually comes from women, not even men. Men are more straightforward. Women are more manipulative. I take offense to it because I'm like, do you think I'm that dumb that I don't know what you're doing right now? I know exactly what you're doing. And by the way, I look better than you. Stop trying to fuck me. I don't want to fuck your nasty ass. You think if I was going to go become a lesbian, I'd fuck your disgusting ass? No, I would never. You're not turning me out. You're not gonna manipulate me.
I love that because that's how
Fuck
I feel
off.
about these closet gay dudes at the store. It's like, you think I'm going to compromise my Christianity for you? That's a huge step. We're talking 1 foot closer to hell. You think I'm going to butt
Closer?
fuck you
Yeah,
and just
comedy's
go
going.
right over the fucking line?
Building's red and black for a reason. Yeah.
You're in hell already.
Yeah.
The minute I think it happens, you go to hell, right?
Yeah. The first time you ever get booked there, you die on the way over to the venue, and then you actually just go to hell.
Well, you
Now
can
you're just there
tell,
forever.
like, who's in the closet up there because they always talk about how much pussy they got.
See, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a good sign.
The biggest dead giveaway.
Yeah.
Like, the real players up there, they just,
Well, Crystalia's one. Unless you hung around and just saw him with girls, you didn't know that dude was taking girls home every night.
he was quiet.
But he was taking girls home
Oh,
every night.
I knew it because they're like, I'm here for Chris. I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. All of age, by the way, all 21.
Oh, yeah.
I ID'd all those bitches.
Yeah.
Always some hot ass Instagram model that just. And I knew, I was like, you here for Chris? How'd you know? I'm like, just wild guess. Just a wild guess. I'm not mad at it.
Influencers.
I'm not mad at it. Those people I actually wonder what they talk about. Like, how fucking boring would that conversation be? Like, honestly.
You don't talk about anything.
What
You
do
just
you
fucking
talk?
go home,
Yeah.
you put on the TV, and you fucking start serving drinks.
Yeah.
And,
Put on your
That's
newest
it.
special.
It's
and-
all about sex.
yeah. No, you just pull up Netflix, and it just comes up. As
Oh,
the
look,
first
I
thing.
get all my.
But it's powerful, though, to be
shit.
on
Yeah.
TV. And, like, it's an aphrodisiac. So.
I'm not mad at it. I understand the game. I'm not mad at that at all. You know, as
Well, I
long as
wanna
people aren't
say-
getting raped against their will, which I don't think they are. I think it's a lot of lies going.
For some reason, for some chicks, the idea that you can hold sway over an entire room of strangers, it really is such a turn on to them. Like, oh my God, like you actually.
It's not for a guy, though?
I don't know.
You don't think so?
And, well, yeah, it turns me on. That's why I go up and
Yeah,
do
that's
it. But I'm talking
most
about,
guys
like,
do that to get pussed.
But I wouldn't go fuck those. I wouldn't fuck a open micer if I saw her on stage just because I thought she did well. I think girls get off on that more to see you up there holding everyone's attention, like you're the boss or something like that.
Yeah, I don't think
I tend to
female
think
comics
guys
get.
like- I think guys
I don't
wanna
think
be the
female
boss.
comics get dick. I think the guys probably get scared of them being funnier than them. To be quite
Well,
honest.
I'm definitely not worried about that because no female comic I've ever met was funny at all. Now, I've dated tons of funny girls that didn't do comedy. They were funny as fuck, dude. I know lots of my sisters are funny. They're way funnier than any female comic I've ever fucking seen. Like, I'm sorry, that's just how it is.
Well, I think female comics can succeed quicker than men if they
Succeed.
market themselves correctly.
Well, I want to say, people,
No, I'm serious.
It's,
Yeah.
it's hard
Oh,
for women
absolutely.
because their window is much shorter. It really is. Like, they have 5 to 10 years of being hot, unless you're Roseanne, and then you can just be concentrated on being funny or something like that. But a lot of these chicks, being hot is part of their.
Yeah, I mean, they
Sick.
suffer because the minute they get a wrinkle and,
Mm-hmm.
all right, well, there's a young girl who's just started doing the open mic at Bird's Back Room or whatever it's called. She's 18 and not a line on her face. See ya, Jennifer.
Yeah, but if you actually have something to say, this is the thing. It's like I know a lot of older comedians that I appreciate, female comedians that are funny. So like Eleanor Kerrigan, for instance, is so goddamn funny, and it's like doesn't matter what that bitch would look like. Fortune Femes or too. I don't care what the hell they look like. Everything they're saying is goddamn fucking funny, and it's relatable to both sexes. Like that shit is just. It's just good comedy. Once you start using your sexuality, because automatically, if you're a good-looking girl and you're doing comedy, unfortunately, they're going to try to sexualize you because that's what it is. It's Mother Nature, man. People,
Happened
even
to
women,
me.
like to look at beautiful women. You know, it's not like
It's
I'd rather look
harder-
at a turd on a stage. I'd rather look at a beautiful woman talking some sense on there. You know, but if you're just talking about how much dick you can get and how piece of shit guys are, like, just change up the game a little bit. Like, just be real, be yourself. Like, just don't fucking talk about sex constantly and about your pussy. It makes me feel uncomfortable.
But I like my pussy.
Yeah, it just makes me feel uncomfortable. It's just like I don't care.
Yeah, I don't like
You
listening
know?
to people talk about their dicks either, to be honest with
Yeah,
you.
you're
I don't
talking
wanna
about how
hear
much
anyone
dick you
talk
can
about
get.
their
Yeah, no
sex,
shit. Like
sexuality.
that's funny.
I just don't care.
Well, but it's like the girls who post pictures of themselves in bikinis and and like their ass sticking out of a jacuzzi, and then they complain, well, no one takes me seriously as a comic. Well, I like, look at your last 7 Instagram pictures. Like,
Yeah.
you know, you don't see Anthony Jeselnik posting a picture of himself in a Speedo by the pool. Like, he lets his material.
That would be hilarious, by the way, if guys started doing that.
Well, I've done it. And
You
it
could be
hasn't done
funny and you can
shit
still
for
take
me.
those pictures, but it's like you don't need to do that. But you're gonna get audience that are just wanting to fuck you. That's what you're gonna get. You're not gonna get people that are interested in your mind or your comedy. You know what I mean? Like, if you really want just that, if you want to be taken serious, wear a fucking turtleneck. You know what I mean? Like, wear a turtleneck.
They couldn't, though.
Like,
because then they'd be judged on their act.
yeah. So it's like, come on, pick it. Like, you can't complain about that. You could also be funny and show your tits, but you got to be really fucking funny, you know, for anybody to take you seriously. That's including women. Nobody wants to admit that, but women are the biggest haters out there. You know what I mean? Because I immediately will be like,
listen to this.
if I see your fucking, no, but if I see your tits out and then I'm like, is she funny? And then I'm like, oh, she's really funny. Okay, cool. I'll give you a chance, but guys are not going to give you that chance. They're just going to jerk off right on their fucking phone screen. They don't give a fuck about what the hell you got to say.
Well, Rhonda Shear did it, right?
She was great. But she was funny.
Shear?
Like,
Yeah, she was really
very
funny.
funny.
Elvira
80s
was
comedy.
funny.
Oh,
And
okay.
hot.
But they were
There's a
actually
lot of
funny.
them.
Yeah.
they had a good act.
There's
I'm
a
just
lot of
saying
them.
she used being like, I'm this like sexual girl or whatever, but still managed to make it very funny.
Like Angeline's horrible. She doesn't do stand-up per se, but if you've ever heard her being interviewed, like she's awful. Like she's not funny. She has no improv skills, but she's got triple D. She looks like Bret Michaels with triple D tits. So it's like
Brett Michelle's.
yeah,
I lost another angel, it sounds like.
yeah. Well, I was so bored. I watched all 3 seasons of Rock of Love. Just because I kind of forgot. That show was amazing.
Oh, it was really good.
Rock of Love, I watched
Yeah.
that a little bit
When it
too.
was first aired on TV, dude.
It was like,
This is
that's...
shit.
Yeah, I watched Flavor of Love when it first came out
Yeah.
too. Those
With
were
the
New York.
fucking, what's the, New York was the best on there, but who's the fucking, with the short blonde hair, very manly woman. She was on Conan the Barbarian.
Yeah.
Oh, Bridget Nielsen.
Bridget
really.
Nielsen.
Yeah.
Which might lead us into the Rambo conversation.
Yeah. One of my favorite people on there. She's total fucking psychopath, but I loved her.
Yeah,
That's good TV.
Play, right? Yes.
But she just had a baby like 2 years ago, and she's like 60. Or
Are you
she's pretty,
serious?
like, you know, she's older.
She had it on her
Yeah.
own?
Well, whoever she's dating, or
She's a real monster.
Yeah.
Whoa.
she's a big
Jesus Christ.
woman. Her and Dolph Lundgren were like, I think they were dating for a while. It's like, can you imagine that kid would have been beautiful? Like, just the genetics.
Dolph Lundgren's like a genius or something.
Well, I think when she was
Yeah,
younger,
he
she was
went
a
to
good-looking
MIT.
woman. I
Oh
think
my
just
God.
like a lot of times when women get older, they just get like testosterone or something. Like, what the fuck is going on? Men do too. I mean, they get bloated, and maybe that might just be alcoholism. I'm thinking Val Kilmer.
Partied a lot. You could tell. Like, if you
Yeah.
look at her from Beverly Hills Cop 2 and
She's
Cobra,
good looking.
yeah.
She was good looking.
She
Oh,
was
she's
hot.
smoking
Yeah,
hot.
yeah. She's
then-
great body, like,
the booze and the drugs
Yeah.
and like.
but also she's like 60, so it's like give people a break. You're 60 years old. You still look good for 60 if you're doing all that shit.
But like Dolph
Yeah.
Lundgren looks. I mean, I'm a straight man, but he for a
Who's that?
60-year-old, he's Drago from Rocky 4. You know, the big Russian.
I didn't watch the Rocky 4 one.
You know who Dolph Lundgren is, though. Like he's
Universal Soldier.
yeah,
He's got super
You ever
blonde
seen it?
hair in that Rocky movie. He's a Russian dude.
but he looks
feel
good
like I
today.
know.
Like he's a good-looking older guy. Stallone. I mean, minus I don't know what he's had.
He always
done.
looked a little tarded.
I don't know, man. That last
Oh, Rambo. He looked Rambo.
was
The
it
last
was rough.
one, he looked like a melting chocolate bar.
Oh my god.
It was
like a
rough,
Oh, it's
dude.
just like
Yeah.
his droopy eyes are like now on his cheekbones, and like I mean, I
Yeah,
love-
he's always had the droop eyes.
he's
Yeah,
my
a little bit.
favorite. But
I just didn't understand, not to shove into that Rambo, but I don't understand the point. After I watched it, I was like, why did he make this? I don't get why he made it.
bored.
Did he need?
You talking about the latest one where he was fighting the Mexican cartel?
Yeah,
took him
because
out.
it was
It
so.
seems to me like he's concerned about the border issues. It's a timely thing to
Yeah.
exploit.
Hey, I'll
To
put the
make money.
fucking wall up. Isn't he friends with Trump?
Hey, put the
I think he's a
wall
Trump
up.
supporter.
Yeah, fuck yeah, he is.
Yeah, I
he's
think he is.
bored. He's just
Yeah.
he's got a. Who knows how much money he has in the bank? Probably at least a couple $100 million.
He
It
doesn't
just
need
seemed like, to me, it was one of those movies that was like, you know, when they make a movie or they're gonna make a movie and then they're like, oh, we can just call it that and we'll attach so and so to the thing, and now it's that. because it didn't really seem like a Rambo movie to me.
That one Black Sabbath album Tony Iommi did. It was basically a solo album, but the record company was like, we're not going to release it unless you call it Black Sabbath. And so he said Black Sabbath with Tony Iommi, which so I'm sure it was just like some...
Who sang on that one?
They had like 3 singers. One guy died of AIDS. He was probably the best singer.
Yeah.
No, he
had a great throat. Also, he sang.
This guy could recite the
death
phone
scream.
book, and you'd think it was like the most amazing song ever. But he just couldn't keep his pee-pee in his pants. And
Wow.
so, but that was like Cobra was actually the original script for Beverly Hills Cop. Like they switched it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like Stallone reworded it so it would fit his.
He slurred the words.
So,
Every 3 seconds.
Don't you feel weird saying that word narrative now? You can't even say it.
well, I know it's like
It's like, what? You
Like-
just hear the people that are talking about the narrative repeat the narrative, and then if you're like me and post some crazy shit online, you just hear dummies that you don't even know repeating that constantly. I'm like, ugh, I can't even say anymore. But you're cool.
I mean, I do my best, but like
Yeah.
even I'm like trying to watch what I say online, because we see with our friends now on.
I'm
Twitter.
doubling down. I'm doubling down now.
Dude, I went through my Twitter.
I'm doubling down.
recently.
Yeah.
I got nothing to lose. I don't give a
I-
shit.
I can
Fuck
host-
everybody.
I can host the
I'm voting for
Oscars.
Trump out of spite. You
I
heard
can
that
host
here.
The Oscars because I went through my Twitter and they deleted all the N-word posts I made. So I remember the ones that I wrote. Like you don't forget when you posted the N-word on Twitter. You remember it.
How did they allow you to leave that on there in the first place?
Back in the day, they didn't have the same
Yeah, they didn't
restrictions
have the
on
algorithms
it.
that we're going through. So now they just find the offensive.
It just
tweet
goes
and
to
delete it
the
by
old
itself.
shit. Yeah.
We're all gonna be
Joseph, I'm disappointed in you.
Okay. What's that?
The N word. You
I
can't
had
be.
to use. I'm sorry. I had to go
What's
back
the
to
M word? I'm sorry, I don't know what you're talking about.
narrative. That's the word we do not use the N word around here, and that's narrative. But I got banned for 7 days off of Facebook for hate speech. Who was I hateful towards? Guess.
I know, so I'm not
Was
gonna.
it, do not guess.
You guess. 'cause I
Roast
know.
battle. No.
No. Canadians. I got 7 days for hate speech against Canadians. Aren't they all white? So now the narrative's changed so you can't even make fun of fucking white people anymore. So what's left to make fun of? Nothing. Is there anyone more entitled and spoiled than fucking Canadians? For instance, you call them human wiener dogs, they report you to fucking Facebook. Imagine tattling.
What was that
because
guy's
you were
name?
called a human wiener dog.
Do you remember
I
that
don't
guy's
remember
name?
his fucking name, but he said he was a comedy club manager. That he managed
not.
a comedy club. No, he works at
not.
a restaurant
He's
that
not.
used to host comedy shows in 2003.
It was
What
So this
the
fucking
hell?
dude is just friending all these comedians on Facebook and then fucking like reporting them whenever they say naughty shit to him.
I woke up to like 6 or 7 of his hateful messages.
Who?
on my
What's
page.
his name?
No
I want to
idea
say it's
what his
like
name
Justin something. I think I screenshot it on my phone.
Is it Richie from the Comedy Store?
But no, Richie would be funny actually. But he was talking shit about on Matt Billen's page too, which Billen posts some shit that people don't agree with. Whatever, I get it. But he's balls to the wall about it. That's why I appreciate about him. He's honest with himself, and he's like, "Yeah, fuck you." You
I
don't like
love
it?
Billen.
He's great.
He's the
He's
best.
great. So people go crazy on him, like literally, like you're a fucking asshole, you cunt of a man, like crazy.
You cunt
And
of a man.
that guy was also going crazy on his, and I was like, dude,
Yeah,
you
he's
should.
psycho.
By the way, he's also very obese. So it's like you
Yes,
should
I know.
probably. That's what I said. I said you should probably just go ahead and move on with your life, and delete him before you get a fucking heart attack. Like,
Wait, what's his
honestly,
name? Pull it up in your phone.
Dude.
Delete him. What? Oh, delete.
He was a member at his club anyway. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna fucking be around.
Epstein was a member at Trump's club, so
Yeah.
you have to fucking rub elbows.
Where's
with
their
him.
friends? I mean, well, I think they actually were friends.
I think they were
Yeah.
friends, too.
I
why
think so,
would
too.
They can't relate to us. What the fuck would they talk to us about?
I mean, when Trump dropped him as a friend, he was pretty bad.
Yeah, that-
Trump said they did. Like,
drops too, Epstein.
yeah, you need
When
to
he
cool
pushed
it.
you to the side, and that was a while ago
That was
too.
like-
I love how they only use a
Like-
picture of him at like socialite parties with him. I'm like, guys, Clinton literally was fucking children and was on that plane so many goddamn times. Trump has his own fucking plane. He could probably take it too. But they're also investigating anybody that was in and out of that island on their own fucking planes. And guess who has their own plane? Oprah. Guess who has a lot of these motherfuckers have their own
And you
place.
get a kid, and
You get a kid.
Oh, she's about to be owned.
Remember
I
her
hope
movie,
so.
The Butler?
I sure hope so, dude.
You get a butler, and you get a butler, and you get a butler.
You get an HBO stand-up special, and
I'm
you get
in.
an HBO stand-up special. I
Right?
do, right? Exactly. Kevin Hart went to it. Matt Groening, who invented The Simpsons,
No,
went there.
I think a lot of
it was
people went
Chris
there.
Tucker. I think Chris Tucker.
I think a lot of
is it
people
Chris
went there
Tucker?
to entice.
It wasn't Kevin. I thought
don't
Kevin
know.
Hart's name was on there
I
too.
don't know, maybe.
Dude.
No,
Short
Chris
black
Tucker
dudes
for
that
sure.
love
Chris
to
Tucker
fuck
was
kids.
on
It
there.
looks like.
Well, watch out.
There could be a
He
laugh
means
stop on the island
allegedly.
somewhere.
Well, that one room where they had most of the orgies looked like this would be a decent sized comedy club.
Oh yeah, low ceilings. It's perfect.
Yeah, it's
You just get a
good.
spotlight over
You
here.
get a special going.
Well, kids don't need a lot of headroom, you know.
I think he was trying to entice a lot of those people because he had a camera in all those fucking rooms too. So he's probably just busting them.
Well,
You know what I mean?
Busting and busting nuts.
Oh yeah,
Ghislaine is like she's got all
trying
the
to entice
secrets.
them with underage bitches.
Dude, I was watching that.
Fat
Much
ass's
like
name?
the Cos
But I can't see
scenario.
anything.
There were like girls that said that they were assaulted by him, and then he was like, "Hey, come to my island," and they were like, "Okay." I mean, it's a little odd to be.
It's the power dynamic, though. Like, I'm sure he's like, I'll take you to France. We'll go to whatever the big shopping. I know there's like a big like main strip where it's all like Gucci and Chanel, and I'm sure it's like, yeah, I was raped, but let me get some clothes out of it.
Hell yeah. Give me something.
And it happens in you look at Bryan Singer, like all the fucking. I was Me Too'd by a dude or attempted. you
Oh
know.
god.
A dude said that you tried to fuck him?
No, I didn't try and fuck any guy. Like he was like one of the heads of casting at Fox, and he pulled me into his
Oh,
office.
he tried to fuck
Yeah,
you.
twice.
Oh, that's terrible.
But
Gross.
the way he groomed me was, oh, do you want to meet Brittany Murphy? I'm like, yeah, this is prime Brittany Murphy.
Yeah.
Like
Back
maybe
in the day, dude.
maybe 2 years after Clueless,
Mm-hmm.
and so she's in the next room doing King of the Hill. It was the first table read for King of the Hill, and so this guy has me in his office. He's small talk about my comedy, and then he's like, hey man, can I show you something? I'm like, I thought it was like a script or something. I'm like, yeah, sure, man. He starts unzipping his pants. I'm like, what are you doing, dude? He's like, oh, my balls are bruised. I ran a marathon. I'm like, come on, dude. Like, where's Brittany Murphy? And I met her, and like, so he followed through, and then he tried to do it one more time, and I thought, okay, like he's gonna know I'm not gonna do anything with him. So I go to his house. I said at noon, lunch, and I see he's got this wagon in his courtyard, like a movie trailer, and it was really nice. It was like nicer than anyone I've ever seen before or since. And I'm like, oh, what's that? He's like, oh, Duchovny gave that to me for X-Files. I'm like, can I go see it? He's like, yeah. I'm like, you got to stay there though, dude. So I'm looking in it. It's beautiful. It's got like a king-size bed, marble bath, and all that bullshit. I mean, it looked like your kitchen. And then I hear the door open, and I'm like, dude, I don't want to turn around, but I have to because there's one way in, one way out. And he's like grabbing his balls. I'm like, dude, where's Brittany Murphy?
Gross.
I mean, that's a joke, that part. But like he was. I'm like, it can happen to guys too.
Oh, absolutely.
It does happen to guys.
I
A
think
dude
it
tried to.
happens
Some guy I met at a Bringer show tried to fuck me one time.
Probably Randy. Oh, did I just say his name? Sorry.
Hey, Mr. Peanut assaulted me.
It happens at all the sexes
Mr.
and
Peanut
orientations.
All right, I'm sorry.
Orientations. I've had more lesbos grab my fucking tits than males.
Well, look
to
at
be quite
Andy
honest.
Dick. Like, he's out of control. Like,
Yeah.
everyone is an Andy
out of
Dick
control.
story at the store.
Oh yeah, he licks people's face. He's licked my face. I mean, I'm
the
not gonna
only
try to
guy
sue
he's
the guy
never
for
tried
it.
to fuck.
I don't give a
It's really
shit.
Insulting.
Well, like, he grabbed my dick once, and I was like, get the fuck away from me. Like, I could have probably sued him, but, like...
No false advertising. Andy Dick will touch your genitals.
I love how, like every time Joe saw him, he's like, God
Randy
damn it,
Dick.
Joe. He's just hiding from him in the back. He's
Oh,
like,
right.
get him away from me. What the fuck, dude? Please don't bring
Talking
him back
about Joe
here.
Rogan?
Yeah, he's like,
Andy
please don't
Dick
bring.
is like, "Come
Because
on,
they used to
Joe
work together
Rogan."
on that show.
News Radio.
News Radio.
5 years ago,
And he's like
Andy.
obsessed with him, and Rogan's like, please don't fucking tell him I'm back here. Like, get him away from me. I think one of the door guys, like, somehow he got through to the door guy, and I was just like, you fucking idiots. That's your only job. Like, the guy's trying to fucking do comedy and hang out, and this maniac that you guys don't want to control. Nobody wants to tell him no. I personally think it's fucking hilarious. Anytime he's there, people are just freaking out. Nobody wants to tell him anything, and then he always has handlers that are just bringing him double shots of fucking Grey Goose. I'm like, you guys are the worst handlers I've ever seen in my entire life.
They're called
Like,
enablers.
Yeah,
Handlers.
enablers. You're exactly right. But I'm just like, I can't serve him any more drinks. Who's this for? So it's like, it's just weird, but
that's
also
like,
very hilarious. I miss those. I actually miss those days. Like, as annoying as they were, I miss dealing with fucking complete psychopaths who are at least entertaining. I'm looking at online world, and I'm the most entertaining person. I'm saying controversial stuff. If I say something nice about, let's say, the president or whatever the fuck is going on, hey, he put 35 million of victims of fucking sex trafficking. People are like, fuck him. He did it. His wife is an immigrant. Like, what are you even talking about? Can't even say positive. I'd rather deal with that shit than fucking retards online getting upset.
I love it, man.
Yeah.
I thought it was
Like, you let them get you upset. I don't understand. They're not real. They're like paper mache phantoms flying around.
What is this, the Alex
They don't
Jones
really
show?
upset me. What upsets me is that they
we
think
get
we're
his
all
numbers.
equal now. That's why everybody's talking to me. Because right now everybody's on an equal playing field, right? In this Los Angeles, Hollywood comedy scene, whoever's in the comedy scene, nobody's really doing shit because they can't perform live, right? So everybody's online now, right? Most people are online. They're trying to do something online, unless they've been accused of sexual assault or some shit like that.
They're
Then they're
online,
very
too.
quiet. They're very quiet. Everybody else is just on there. So I just don't like when people are trying to get attention from crazy stuff I post. It's just annoying. I'm like,
It's your attention.
yeah, it is annoying. It's annoying because when I go back to their page, first of all, most of them are obese, and everybody says their first thing under their profile is fuck Trump. I'm like, you're a loser. Your whole life is based on hating Trump, the president. Like, okay, I get it. You don't have to like him. I don't care. But that's who you are. You state that in your fucking thing. You state that. It's like IQ fuck Trump 45 was one I saw. And I was like, this guy, I woke up and there's 10 comments from this fucking guy. And I'm just like, this has nothing to do with him. This has something to do with child trafficking. What are you talking about? It's a lot of fun for me because I'm getting off on making fun of people lately on there. And at the same time, it scares me a little bit because everybody's losing their goddamn fucking minds over the smallest shit. And it's because of that equal playing field. It's like they have access to everybody now and they know everybody's looking and everybody's watching. Does that make sense?
You sound crazy as fuck. But
What?
Well,
What
I
do you
think
mean?
people are bored. They're just fucking bored.
yeah.
Well, yeah, they're online now. So
I don't think it's good what we did. We basically took everybody's jobs away from them and then gave them the same salary. This is all basically, they've just pulled socialism
Sometimes
on us.
more, actually. More. They were getting extra
without us
$600 a
looking.
week.
So now that everybody gets paid the same thing, and then they were just like, okay, you know this thing that you can't have control in your own life? This thing? Well, now you have nothing else to do all day but just sit there with that.
Right.
So, like, everybody's just stuck in a hole.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I gotta look at this and do this and blah blah blah, and this person because everything's going wrong because fuck Trump and blah blah.
Yeah.
Like, they're just they're addicts.
Really
they're
is.
fucking jonesing for
Yeah.
it.
now I understand. We're all getting fat. We're all drinking a load during the fucking day during quarantine. We're all
Yeah.
getting fat. But dude, man, fuck. I hate obese people telling me how to live my life. You don't know how to live your life. You obese motherfucker. All right, that's it.
Dude, you sound like Rambo in the hardware store.
Talk
Nothing
about
is over.
Rambo. Well, so can we talk about the new Rambo? It's called Rambo Last Blood because I watched the unrated, uncensored
The
version.
more violent one.
No, it was just 10 extra minutes of backstory. I was like, I don't give a fuck what happened to Rambo in between now and the last movie. I want to see him kill. I want him to see him kill.
Yeah, he did. There was not nearly enough murdering in the last
Wait,
Rambo.
please tell me you're kidding.
Yeah, dude,
Are
that's
you,
crazy.
Wait,
He
what?
was
Are you
just tearing
tearing?
people's arms off and shit.
I mean, that's what I love. The one that was before that. The one that was before that, where he was
good,
in
too.
South
Where
Asia.
He was a
right?
snake wrangler, dude.
Wait, was that the one where he's in the boat?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
he's the
yeah.
boat
Yeah,
driver.
Yeah, that's the
He
one
was
I
the
like.
fourth one.
Yeah, I love that one.
That was great,
Because it's like it's as gory. It's like there must have been something going on in cinema at the time where like everyone was into like
Dude, it was
people
after
getting their
Saving
bodies
Private
blown
Ryan, dude.
away,
It
and
was
then
his Saving Private Ryan.
and the style of like this sort of stoppy, I don't know, choppy thing they do with the action. I don't know what
Dude,
that's
it's
called.
exactly like Saving Private Ryan, where it's like everything's handheld, and people are falling
There's some
down while
frames
they're
missing.
filming.
There's some
Yeah.
frames missing, but it's like
Yes.
the same length of time or something.
Yeah, it wasn't like a regular camera. I didn't like it. It almost looked like a home movie.
Yes, it
Yeah.
totally did, dude.
Yeah.
There's a Vietnam veteran.
Like it was a high def
Like his
handheld.
flashbacks.
That's the first. You can't beat the first one, dude. That is
No, the
the
first one's a
perfect,
classic masterpiece. We can't.
It's amazing.
dude,
Amazing.
Earl, I
movie.
wanted
the
to
perfect
ask-
action movie.
Earl, can I ask you about?
I
some-
liked it, and I don't remember ever watching it. I just watched it a couple
it's
weeks ago
perfect,
for
dude.
you. And by the way, great fucking movie.
But that
Great
scene
movie.
in the hardware store, where that might be one of the best acting,
It's so good.
like just the heart he had. And
Dude, he was great in Copland too. People forget he's
dude,
a
I
good
tell
actor.
people about it. Look at
Yeah,
that cast in
Copland's
Copland.
awesome.
You had Leota, Keitel,
I love Leota.
De Niro.
I never saw Copland.
Dude,
Dude,
you gotta
it's
see
good.
it. You gotta see it.
Is that
Janine
80s as well,
Garofalo is
or-
in it.
Rappaport.
Yeah.
Is that 80s or 90s?
That's
95 or 96. Janine
Okay.
Garofalo is in it. That's
I
And I
remember
thought he
the-
was the best
time
actor
period.
in it. He's great when he plays that kind of, and obviously he's not dumb. He's worth $1 billion, but that dumb, dim-witted Rambo, Rocky, the cop in Copland character, he's got it nailed perfectly.
I wanted to ask you about some more obscure
9 inches
action
to the
movies.
left.
Yeah, disgusting. Have you ever seen Stone Cold with
Brian Bosworth,
Brian
dude, and Lance
Bosworth?
Henriksen.
Yes, perfect,
Chains.
perfect enemy.
How do you remember all this
action
shit?
movie.
I'm
I'm a
very
loser.
impressed. No. I'm impressed.
Dude, and that's awesome because Brian Bosworth's like this jock, like football dude,
Goes undercover.
as a biker.
Do you know that Lance Henriksen was the first choice to be the Terminator?
I did actually, and he's actually in the movie as like a cop
As the
or
cop.
something,
He plays
right?
like
Yeah,
the
yeah,
cop
yeah.
in the station, and OJ was the second choice.
Oh,
Damn.
perfect. Are you
Right.
kidding me? That actually would have been perfect.
There's a great DVD, like
Typecasting.
extra, where they interview the casting director, and she just was like, "Yeah, I didn't find OJ believable as a killer."
That's so
Like,
fucking
it's not
funny.
a joke. She's, it was pretty good to me, but Lance Henriksen's awesome.
Dude, he's the
Hey, I know
best.
12 other people who couldn't find him believable. as a
Have you seen The Last Boy Scout? That's another great.
I
Yeah.
auditioned to be in it.
No way.
Yeah, one of the
What?
football players.
Oh hell yeah.
I
didn't
saw
get
that
it. I
in the
didn't get it.
theater.
I
Yeah,
know.
me too.
It was like 89, 90, 90-ish.
I think it came out in '91, and Damon Wayans was the.
And Tom,
The
one of my
sidekick.
favorite character actors, the guy with the mustache, Bruce McGill. He was D-Day in Animal House. He's in like hundreds of things.
Did you grow up out here?
Yeah.
Wow.
So, but I had done the Babe Ruth story, the TV movie, not the movie in theaters, and the same guy was casting the football players, but I wasn't big enough.
Oh, sick. Yeah.
Bastards.
How tall are you? Like.
I mean, I've been the same size since like third grade, but like to be an NFL player, like I was a football player in a 38 special video, and it was brutal. I was the smallest guy. And as they're finishing up, they're like, "Hey, we gotta have some real scenes where people tackle each other. Will you stick around?" And I was like, "It was
Nope.
brutal."
You're like,
I did.
you guys want to fucking
Oh, it was brutal.
my
Like,
veins?
every guy was like 6'2", 6'3", 300 pounds, and I was probably
Jesus.
200 tops. And
Jesus.
so, yeah, Last Boy Scout's a bop, as the kids say.
So that's why you started hanging around the comedy store. You're like, I need to be the strongest dude here. Absolutely no contest.
I mean, who works out at the store? Maybe Brody. I mean,
Well, you gotta say people who are actually alive.
but I mean,
R.I.P.
at that
Brody.
time, yes.
Oh yeah.
Maybe who else? Maybe Carrot Top was never a store guy. I mean Rogan, but I think
Delius was working out. He
worked-
looked
yeah.
like he was pretty
he was
in
swole
good
back in
shape.
the day.
he still
Callan
is.
works out. I'm just gonna name off all the guys who are accused of sexual assault. Obviously, Jeff Ross works out.
Tyler.
I got to take a knee on this one. I'm too close to the bone.
I got you.
No, I'm just gonna.
Yeah, there's a couple guys, but not big dudes.
I mean, who else? Schaub works. Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if he's a comic. He almost ran over Lois once in the lot at the store, and I was kind of pissed. It was Lois's fault because she jumped out of my car, and then Schaub's coming out in his Porsche, and I started to go, "Hey," and then I realized it was him. I'm like, "Oh, my bad, dude. I'm sorry." Yeah, but Stone Cold's a good. William Forsythe is in it.
Fucking awesome. Yeah, William
Who
Forsythe's
else is
awesome.
in it? I know really other big names in it, but
When the motorcycle flies out of the building into the helicopter, like, this is as good as movies get.
hilarious.
And this is before stupid fucking computer effects. So they actually just blew up a fucking helicopter. Sort of like Terminator 2. A lot of the action sequences are actually real. Like, people actually really did fall off a truck and hit his head on the ground, rolling off of.
well, yeah, that's
At
why I
some
can't get into like the CGI stuff today.
impossible.
Like the last Fast and Furious movie I saw was like, it was so well. Even Rambo was like so fucking. The last one was so unbelievable. It was like, give me the first Rambo where it's like pretty much real special effects. Like there's no.
Is your favorite action movie also, you think, like the best action movie, or do you just like, you know what I mean?
I mean, I think Predator is the best action movie ever, just because that cast on paper should not have worked. Like.
It seems so
It's
ridiculous.
literally the 7 worst actors on the planet.
Right.
Shane Black, who wrote it, was in it.
Yeah. He's playing a jock.
Carl Weathers is Bill Duke, who is the black actor who's bald.
Yeah, that
he's
dude
like
rules.
a pretty legit actor. So, like, when Carl Weathers and Bill Duke are like, the De Niro's of the cast. It's this is Houston. We have
My
a problem.
nickname growing up, my brother would call me Predator because of my hair. I was like, you motherfucker.
My first girlfriend looked like Predator. When he takes the mask off and his teeth are like.
He died of AIDS in real life.
The Predator?
Yeah, Kevin Peter Hall.
Looks like the Predator became the prey, huh?
Well, it was a blood transfusion. And you can
That's
see
the worst, dude.
Wow.
you can see the actual Predator at the very end of the movie. He was the helicopter pilot. Like, they threw him a little bone. Like, so he's the black dude. Well, Van Damme was the original Predator.
Yeah, and he quit because
Oh, really?
He broke his ankle.
Yeah.
And he couldn't.
Van Damme, first man I jilled off to.
Hey, whatever.
They said when Van Damme did it that it was more like he was dancing around and
Yeah,
stuff. Like,
he's doing like ballerina moves, like Kip Winger, and it's like, look at the cast over there. They're not gonna like. But that's a great movie because you never see the Predator till like 80% of the movie's over.
Yeah.
It's scary. You
So
don't
there's
know.
that
suspense.
anticipation
The
of like,
suspense is great.
let's get it going. And
An
then-
unseeable enemy. That's what everybody's fear. When you that's what all fucking horror movies are. You don't. What the fuck was that sound?
Well, I feel like the Indian in Predator in LA Comedy. Like, that guy always knew someone was out there. He never knew where they were, but he could sense it. And then at the end, he just said, fuck it.
Yeah, he tore off all his clothes. He's like, all right, fuck this. I'm going to death. It's time to die. But
It's one of my prized memorabilia. My brother's ex was working at a bar, and she's like, hey, that guy from Predator's in here all the time. I'm like, which guy? The Indian. I'm like, oh, you got to get me his autograph. And she got me an autographed 8x10. I put it right by my Ron Jeremy picture. He's
you
also
have
a
to put that-
rapist.
you have to put that one down now? Or you
Yeah.
just
It's
throw it
tough.
up?
So I look at it
man.
going, man, it's a nice picture, but geez, he is a rapist.
He didn't have to rape. That's why I don't know about that one, because you gave me a look. But when I went to a concert 10 years ago, fucking Ron Jeremy was there with the fucking hottest girl there as fucking Smokestack. And dude, he's not even cool. He was like, hey, check it out. I brought my harmonica. Maybe I'll get on stage and jam with the band. The thing is, though, he really does play the harmonica. He really did bring his harmonica.
That's all he does.
But listen, dude, he fucked that woman in the men's room.
Sweet, that's a girl
Fucked
you
her.
want to take home to your mom.
For sure. That's definitely marriage material.
To your Ron.
He's always wearing a disgusting T-shirt or
Sweats.
sweats,
Oh,
and like
it's so
I'm like,
bad.
did you wash that? Like I could smell him from like,
Doesn't it suck that we've all had
like
personal
10 feet
interactions
away.
with this fucking
and he's
dude?
always sleeping. He's always sleeping at the comedy
He's
store. I was
got
like,
narcolepsy.
can you guys kick this guy out?
What?
Like he's taking
Is
up
that the
booth
medical
space.
condition of having a huge dick?
No, that's called me and Ron Jeremy.
Takes a lot of energy.
Like, he sleeps in the back because he at the comedy store because it's dark. Seats are kind of comfortable, and
Why is he
know.
there though? It's like,
there's
aren't you
nothing else to
embarrassed?
do. I used to see him at the gas station on Sunset and San Vicente. There's like that. It's the only gas station really on the west end of the strip, and he goes there for pussy. Not anymore, but like, he's a weird dude.
Well,
How
I'm
do you
guessing you spend your time in the porn industry. You don't spend a lot of time making long-term friendships.
But how do you get Me
Business.
Too'd out of porn?
Yeah,
Like
right.
it seems like impossible.
It's happened before, though. Like, they tried to do it with other people.
James Dean was.
James
Yeah.
Dean, but they
Yeah.
did ruin his career. I haven't seen that dude in anything in
It
forever.
actually happens a lot. I mean, I hear about it a lot because the girls there that obviously people don't give them that much respect because they're porn stars, so they can get away with a lot more shit. They can get away with fucking raping women because they're like, oh, you get fucked on camera all day. Who's gonna believe you? Who's gonna have respect for you? So for me, I could see how people could actually take advantage of those girls, and most of those fucking girls. I mean, I don't know. I would like to think that they're not crazy or they're not mentally ill or there's something not wrong with them. I don't know. Maybe
But
you just
then
like
you would be
maybe you
a
just like sex a
liar.
lot. Maybe you like sex a lot and you're fine with doing it in front of camera.
There's like 2 of those.
Yeah, I don't
All
know.
the
I mean,
others
there
are,
is
like,
some. There is some.
insane.
I mean, I forgot the one that Dawn Barris has all the time, but I've talked to
That's
her.
probably 10 girls.
No, there's just one. I forgot her name, which is bad on me. But like, she's actually very intelligent, very cool. And I was talking to her. I was like, oh, I would never even know.
Are you
that
talking about
she-
Kate Kennedy?
Maybe that's her name.
Very small. She's a comic too. Like she's pretty funny.
Yeah, maybe like reddish hair.
Blonde, like almost a little,
Blonde,
maybe lighter than Larkin.
There's a couple of super cool
doesn't
though.
look like
Very
Larkin.
nice.
I knew.
I
when you said she
I was
in
very
porn.
impressed by her. Like it was just
smart.
like I was like, wow, you're funny. She's quick. She's witty. Like I liked her. You know what I mean?
Got her
But she seems like one of
OnlyFans.
those girls that I was just like. Now she's also this smart that she figured out how to do an OnlyFans. She doesn't have to fucking deal with dudes. She does mostly chick stuff. You know what I mean? Like, but most of them, unfortunately, they're like drugs. I mean, I've seen a lot of them. They're on drugs and do
They're
all
all
that.
on drugs.
Well,
How
it's-
else could you get
Like,
fucked?
fucking-
Well, it's just
on
like
camera.
no guy wants to jack off to the same girl for an extended period. So it's like their shelf life is literally, in some
Yeah.
cases, months.
They start doing crazier and crazier shit.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Like Max
God,
Hardcore films.
Yeah, it's like I feel bad for them in that position. You know what I mean? It's just like, God damn, dude.
Well, now it's also free now. You can go on like
Yeah.
free cam. I don't even watch porn. I don't know why I know all this, but like freecams.com, I guess you could watch. I don't know.
Whatever
some
you
girl
want.
getting fucked in her apartment.
See, that's what
Yeah.
I like, because I like to just watch I like to listen to whatever music they're listening to, and then also look at their weird belongings in the background and be like, this is what you're spending the money on that you
Yeah.
whore yourself out for. Fucking figurines of fucking anime movies I don't even know about. That's the other thing that's really funny, because like they try to style themselves in a way that guys would like. So they'll be like wearing like a Guns N' Roses t-shirt. You'd be like, oh, hell yeah. She likes rock and roll like I do. Oh, hell yeah, horns, dude.
Shits in
Wearing
her
a fucking
bed.
Metallica t-shirt. Reality, she does not like any of that stuff. She doesn't like the Game of Thrones poster in the background. It's all a big fucking lie. It's all a lie, I tell you. Anyway.
You're saying she's not cool?
Well, that's what I was going to say.
I bought a bedazzled ACDC T-shirt from Boone for $3.
So did I.
By the way, I like ACDC, but I don't like them. I would never go out and buy that T-shirt at full price.
Well, I bought neither does Boone. Like
Okay.
Boone.
Yeah, I buy it more
stole
because
it
the
off
the
my
hand-
5-finger discount.
Yeah.
Well, I've seen Boone where his drop-off point is. It's on La
Where's-
Brea and 3rd. You know that Petco?
Oh,
There's like a recycling center there.
Yeah.
He meets people there, and they exchange there. And
he's always grinding, man.
I've seen him in the Amoeba actually shopping, not stealing, actually shopping. So he might actually buy some of these records.
well, I saw
He's going to
him-
the dollar bin.
I saw him a couple weeks ago on Santa Monica and San Vicente at the bus stop, and I hugged him. I was like, "Hey, man, it's good
Oh,
to
I
see
fucking
you."
love this dude, yeah.
And then he started yelling at the top of his lungs why George Floyd was shot. I'm like, dude, he wasn't shot. Like,
Have you seen that full video?
Tony, click,
It's
clack,
not-
shot him.
It's not. Yeah, I was like, dude, I gotta go because he was pretty drunk, and I'm like, dude,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is not the time.
I just watched that full video the other
It's pretty
day.
bad. Like,
The
Are you
full,
talking
it is
about
pretty
Floyd?
bad.
He was
Yeah.
on fentanyl or something. That's the worst drug ever.
oh, I didn't know he was on it, but I mean, just the cops. It's not a good look for the cops with the full.
Actually, I think the cops are going to get away with it.
100%.
Because the
I hope
full,
not.
if you watch the full video, it's first of all the fact that he put his knee on his neck for way too long.
8
Why?
minutes.
I wish the fucking EMTs were in there. But the 8 minutes before that was him just literally screaming, and having ODing is basically what I thought I was seeing. I was like,
he
he
was
was
ODing.
ODing. Like he's like, I'm gonna die, and he's like, just sit in the car. They're trying to get him to sit in the car.
He's probably paranoid
with
at
AC.
that.
He was paranoid. He's freaking out. He's like, I can't breathe. I'm gonna have a heart attack. And his friend that was out on the other side of the street was like, dude, why don't you just sit down in the AC car? Like the cops were telling him, like, just sit in the AC, man. Just sit in the AC. He's like, I'm not that kind of guy. And he kept freaking out. And they were trying to calm him down. Like, they really tried to calm him down. But what I don't agree with is at the end when he put the fucking knee on, I'm like, bro, just let the guy just sit and let him freak out and have his moment. EMTs took so long to fucking get there. But I think all these guys are going to get off with it. After watching that video, I'm like,
Cue up the riots.
that's what I'm saying. It's like going to be another round of fucking riots because
Unless they just sacrifice him.
they're just going to,
cops.
maybe the one guy with the knee might get in trouble, but
Yeah.
everybody else
Well,
that was
they have
involved.
The guy that looks like the host of Cash Cab.
That's Ben
Right?
Bailey,
Yeah,
an
Ben
inappropriate
Bailey.
Earl alumni.
Yeah, people were saying it was him. I was like, no, dude, I know him. It's not him.
Was George Floyd passed at the Laugh Factory? Like,
Oh my God, yeah, he's
they
got
make
the
it,
mural.
like, he's got 2 murals. He's got the name on the, and maybe like I don't know.
He just really doesn't want
Make
anybody to
God
fuck with his
laugh,
business.
George
yeah.
Floyd. Make God
I've
laugh.
seen his reel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's funnier than most of the comics I know.
I mean, he's got a good 8 minutes 46 seconds.
I highly
but
suggest
I'm not-
anybody to watch the full video.
Can you delete
Watch the full
last 5
video.
minutes of this?
It's very interesting.
Can you delete when we start talking about George Floyd? I really don't want to get into trouble. My career is in this shit.
And we're not saying
Yeah, we're
anything
good.
bad about George Floyd. I'm just saying,
I
watch
don't
the whole
mind- I just
video.
mind
Watch the whole
Thursday
video because
this
it's
time.
interesting to
it's
see.
still
Yeah.
filming. Oh, then never
The whole
mind.
thing.
I will cut out all that stuff, though. Don't worry.
Oh no, I'm just kidding. We
If
didn't say
it's-
anything
No,
bad.
we didn't
Oh,
say
yeah,
anything
yeah.
bad. I'm
Okay,
just
okay.
saying
I'm
watch
saying
the
that-
whole video because it's interesting. Because
Well,
I think
cutting this part
I really
out,
think
where
he
I said
had-
we were going to cut that other part
Oh
out.
yeah, yeah. Leave it in, dude. I
I
don't
think he
edit
really
shit.
did have an
Yeah,
overdose.
exactly.
He was having an overdose, and they did not treat him properly. Like they didn't. He was literally having a freak out moment. He was on drugs, and he was a drug addict. He fucking. And then when they found so much fentanyl, like I don't know how many times the extra fentanyl, I was like, man, now it makes sense. And he's like, I'm not that guy. He's freaking out, and his friends were trying to calm him down. They're like, dude, just sit down. He wouldn't
Well,
sit down.
we also talked.
It's
we might have
crazy,
talked about
man.
this on another
It's-
episode, but he might not have even known he had that much fentanyl in him. He
I-
might have
he-
taken heroin.
By the way,
something
so
else.
many drugs
There's
have
a lot
fentanyl
of-
in it. Cocaine
there's
has
a lot of
fentanyl in it.
street- There's a lot of
Stepped
street
on,
drugs
They're
that just
stepped
are
on.
mixed
They
with
cut it with
stuff
fentanyl.
and,
They
you
cut it
know.
with fentanyl. Which
Scary.
the poor guy probably did drugs. He was addicted to drugs, obviously, but he did the drugs, and then he was trying to forge a fucking whatever $20 bill or whatever the fuck he was doing. He got busted, and then he starts having a fucking panic attack. You could see him panicking. I don't know how long this video was, but a couple
I don't know.
people
I
sent
heard
it.
he was going to buy NBC.
Oh, was he?
All right, let's cut that part out. Now we're doing George Floyd bits.
Okay.
My name is Earl Skakel. I don't have anything to do with the editing of this podcast.
Nope, not at all.
But I'm surprised though cops are that stupid. Like they
It's
know
dumb.
they have body cams on. They know
And they should know that guy was freaking out. Like
mean-
he was on drugs.
you shouldn't do it anyway. Not just because there's cameras, but it's like, dude, you know that this footage will be released, and like, I don't.
And you could see that guy's obviously on drugs, bro. Like anytime I see somebody that's on drugs, I'm like, you don't know what's gonna happen. You know what they're on, and I would assume they've dealt with enough people who are on drugs to know better. Like, hey, make sure he's sitting up, cool him down.
Yeah, there's
calm him
some
down,
kind
get
of
an
thing.
EMT
There's
there.
like a phrase for it that
It's
is in the
$20.
training.
He doesn't
It's called,
deserve to
like-
die for $20.
It's called like excited delirium or something like that, where somebody's basically
actually-
ODing and you know.
I mean, I get cops are scared. Like I've seen people with superhuman strength when they're on drugs.
They
Like,
are. That's why they were maybe like freaked out.
Yeah.
And he's a big guy. He's a big
I'm
guy.
sure.
But he's already cuffed, right? When
Right.
The guy, so
That-
it's like
He's
he's
already
not going to
cuffed.
break out of the cuffs unless
Let
he's
him
really
sit
on
up.
drugs.
Let him
Yeah.
sit up.
Yeah.
Cool him down. Calm him down. Let him sit up.
I mean, he did say
Give
put
us
me
some
on the
ice
ground.
chips.
He did say put me
Ice
on the ground.
chips.
I mean, why are we
He did
coddling-
say, yeah,
Is
he
he a
did say that.
puppy?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's...
Here, George, here's some ice chips.
You've had a bad time. Here's some Pedialyte.
What? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I was around for the Rodney King thing. I'm just like,
Was that wild or what?
what? I mean, yeah, you know,
No, it was pretty cool.
yeah, it was awesome. I was in Century City. They weren't getting to me. But I had a buddy who wrote for.
It's called excited delirium.
My buddy wrote for Soldier of Fortune, and he came by my house the morning that like the riots were like really starting to get up, and he gave me all these like military knives and plastic grenades. And he's like, just in case they get to you. I'm like, dude, I'm on the 19th floor of a high rise in Century City. They're not. But this was scary because they actually got into they got into Century City and Beverly Hills, and that was the scariest part for me this time around. West Hollywood, it was on total shutdown.
Yeah, they were really tearing shit up.
National Guard right outside my house, and
that's crazy.
It was the real.
Just think it was like a perfect storm though, because people are unemployed.
Tanks out there?
People are upset.
Absolutely, it was crazy.
It's rioting time, baby. What else are they gonna do? Upset. They keep getting blasted by the news, and nobody's working. They're still rioting in fucking Portland. They're still fucking.
I know.
What the fuck? You guys are losers. Then now they're
Where
going to the
is
suburbs.
Rambo now?
They're
That's the
looters.
Rambo script
They're
we
looters.
need.
Rambo Part 7.
Nothing is over.
He goes
It's all
in.
white people for Black Lives Matter. I was like, this seems racist to me. I don't know what.
They should call
At
in Rambo
least
to protect the
I have
federal
some black
building.
friends with you. Like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah,
you
but
guys are
some
just
of-
looting shit in the name of Black Lives Matter. It seems like you guys might be part of the KKK to me. That seems a little fucking odd. You're using black BLM and you're rioting with no black people around you whatsoever. You're protesting, but what are you doing? I don't know. Do
Sounds
you,
like my kind of riot.
what are you doing?
Guys, I gotta go.
Yeah, let's cut that part out. A key.
Well, I mean, I get it, but when I walked by a hockey store the other night and they had a Black Lives Matter, it's like, come on, dude, it's a hockey store. Let's
Black Life Matters.
Yeah.
The one black guy that plays hockey.
So, well, I didn't understand why they looted Supreme on Fairfax. That is a black-owned business. They sell primarily to blacks and minorities. You got Rob Cantor's. You won't see
Don't
me.
rob Cantors. I like to eat
But I
them.
mean,
What are they going to rob it of? Matzo ball soup?
There's no rhyme or reason. It's just people are just opportunists and they're taking that. They're taking advantage. People don't really
Dude, I
fucking
would
care.
steal some fucking posters off the wall. I'd steal some of those cookies. The
They're
black and
like,
white
hey,
ones.
let's go to the famed Kibitz room and raid it.
Well, I mean,
You've all heard of that, right?
Supreme is the ultimate in black-owned, black sales to black.
I didn't know
Okay,
that.
What is it?
Yeah.
What
It's
kind
like
of
a
Supreme.
really high-end
T-shirts and
hoodies.
hats, yeah.
And,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You'll see celebrities wear it's like a red.
Well, then maybe they just wanted it because it's cool shit.
Well, they had a whole setup. Three guys would go in. They'd take it out to a car that was waiting, and then they had a guy who was
They were
in
covering
charge
their
of-
license plates and
Yeah,
shit, which
I
was
mean,
I was like, that's pretty smart.
It was kind of well orchestrated.
Yeah.
They had the runners, they had the driver. They
You
had
got to
the guy.
respect the hustle.
Yeah,
you
I
know?
mean,
You got to respect that white guilt. Take advantage of it while you can, guys.
yeah.
Take advantage of
Yeah,
it.
because when white
I don't
people
have
stop
white
feeling
guilt.
guilty, Crusades #2 coming down the pike. This time we're taking out Jews too. Jews, Muslims, fuck Hindus as well,
I'm done.
baby.
I'm out.
Christianity forever.
Don't take out the Hindus. I got to buy a computer at Fry's. Hello.
I don't care if you're not a threat. Goodbye. You're all going. See ya.
Out.
It's gonna be awesome. Christian world.
Are you doing your podcast at the Comedy Store still from the window? Are you going to?
They've asked me to start doing it there, but I like doing it at my home. It's
Okay.
it's like this. This is unique. you know.
Set up, yeah.
I don't want to have the same background as, I don't know.
Everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah, some of the stuff, it looks like when we looked at stuff that we did down in the basement, it's like, well, it just looks like everybody's.
Yeah, that's
shit.
what I don't want.
It's like-
I don't. When I was thinking about going to All Things Comedy, and that's a great, Burr's like a comics comic, but
Right.
you don't really Brody's podcast look like the hockey podcast, and then the hockey
Right, right,
podcast look like Felipe Esparza's podcast. And
But
he's
do you
great.
think they even maybe asked if they could change it up?
I mean, I
like
know they
the
changed the
appearance?
TV screen behind, or I think
Yeah.
they had TV screen, so they would change that to whoever podcast it was, but it was just like.
You could tell it's the
It
same.
still
Yeah.
looks like the same
setup,
room.
yeah.
Like I like Rogan's podcast just because it looks. There's no one who has
Like
the
his.
American flag or Taylor's Mitzi picture.
Yeah.
It's like so. But I'd also love to just come in, do an episode, and leave, and then have Mike
Somebody else
Schmidt
deal
or
with it.
whoever
Yeah.
upload it, and so that's very attractive to me.
Yeah, I was surprised when you said you don't have any videos on your YouTube.
I should, because I look back at a few of the guests, the marginal celebrities I've had on.
You had Bobby Brown, right?
She was probably, and I mean this in the nicest way, because she's nice enough to come to. She didn't want to talk about anything, which I get. But she didn't want to talk about the cherry pie video. It's just a huge, it's like, well, what else do you want to talk about?
Yeah.
And then she brought her boyfriend with her.
Yeah.
I was like, well, I can't ask her how
Your
big.
podcast is like 80s
It's-
podcast,
well,
right?
it's
Like
pretty
music
much
and movies and
whoever will come on.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of it's 80s based. So with her, I was like, oh, we'll talk about Leonardo DiCaprio because apparently they fucked and he lasted like 2 minutes. And Dave Navarro was jacking off in his living room. And then she walked in. And then she brings her boyfriend over. Like, well, I don't really feel comfortable asking her about these stories with this kid sitting there like a
God damn it.
lummox.
Should have just gone in on it.
I tried, but he was only like 21. Like it was the reverse, like what we were talking about. Like she's probably close to 40, and like I was like, well, this kid's probably not mentally.
Well, if you've
prepared.
seen and been through all that, you're gonna date 21-year-olds.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't need
Yeah,
that shit. I'll just deal with somebody that's just
You'd
innocent.
think he would know something, though, right?
But he was so young, he probably doesn't even know who Warrant is, and like she was the she won the spokesperson thing on Star Search like 9 times. Like, well, let's talk about Ed McMahon, and she didn't want to talk about that. And it's like it was probably the worst interview just because she didn't want to talk about.
Then why the
like,
fuck
what
did she come by then?
I still don't know. Like she was
Yeah.
cool to do it, and she was very nice. Took pictures and.
Yeah, that's a weird thing to bring your boyfriend on a podcast with you.
I mean, I get it. Like, she probably thought, who's this fucking creepy dude? It's inappropriate, Earl. Maybe ask wacky questions. Let me bring this. Like, I'm not going to try and rape you. Like, I'm trying to get this on iTunes. Like,
Yeah, and you're up there on iTunes. Are
I
you like
was.
number 5 or something, or number 4?
someone reported me for a music violation, which
Bastards.
I've only done one song. My buddy did it. He owns the rights, masters, so it's completely legal. And then, like, I was like number 8. At one point, I was number 1 for like 7 hours.
Oh, that's awesome.
I was on a Saturday. I was like, oh my God, I'm ahead of Rogan. I'm ahead of, like, it was crazy. And then I'm not even in the top 200, and I'm shadow banned on iTunes. Like, even
Fucking bullshit.
you have to like type in inappropriate Earl, and whereas before, if you literally put IN, inappropriate Earl will pop up. So it's
So there you have it. Inappropriate Earl, guys.
Oh yeah, that
Download.
wasn't like
No,
a
but
sneaky way to try and
no.
plug the
That's
pod,
why I
but-
was asking you, because we're coming to an end. Then
Oh
I want
fuck! I want to talk about
all
rape.
5 of our listeners to know where they can find you, because you're one of our favorites, and we love when you come on.
I love you guys and girl and Taylor, like these brilliant artwork here. I want to have him. I want to commission him to do a painting of Kamala, my favorite wrestler.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Kamala Harris.
Might have to ask Brady Matthews to do
well-
that.
It's funny. That's his name too. His real
Oh,
name
really?
is James Harris.
Yeah,
So like when you
That's
Google
amazing.
Kamala Harris and you're looking for the
that is
politician,
so fucking funny.
sometimes the pro wrestler. Well, he had the best gimmick ever. Like,
What was it? What was his gimmick?
well, and I know this isn't a wrestling
I
podcast.
think I know who you're talking about, but
Well, his wrestling thing before Kamala was his name was James Sugar Bear Harris. He was just a huge black guy. He couldn't wrestle. Like he had no ability. And then so Jerry Lawler, who's like a legend in pro wrestling, he's like, "What if that's your gimmick? What if we say you're from Uganda and you're just a wild savage and you don't know anything?"
so
Like you,
racist.
it's
it's
horrible.
so crazy.
Yeah.
But there's many worse. You
Oh.
it's
think
a great backstory.
and
Yeah.
it worked because they did it. The guy who owned the wrestling league before Vince McMahon, he had like 100-acre ranch in like Texas in the woods. So they did this vignette where Kamala's in his grass skirt and he's walking around this guy's ranch like it's Africa. It's really well done. Like
That's amazing.
And so
I'd love to see
that became his gimmick of you didn't notice he was horrible because you thought, oh, he's just some wild guy. And there was many worse racist.
yeah.
There was Slick the pimp. There's when they turned this wrestler.
He was an Irish fellow?
It was like it's the most racist sketch in the history of pro wrestling. Was Slick the pimp had a new wrestler. And if you follow wrestling, this guy was the one-man gang. He was like this huge just guy with a mohawk and just a big fat white guy. They made him black.
Oh man.
And they called him Akeem, the African Dream. No, he wasn't in blackface. They just like he grew out a beard and he spoke jive. And he's like, my brothers. And in the sketch where they introduce him, they're in an alley in New York. They have these 5 black background dancers in grass skirts like slaves, and they all have like Nikes on, and it was just like, dude, this is even for the 80s, this is pretty racist.
Good Lord.
And there's many more. I mean, it's crazy the race. That's why I always laugh when the WWF does like a Black Lives Matter movement or like a commercial. It's like, dude, remember the Junkyard Dog?
Yeah, I was just gonna bring him up. He died in a car accident.
Well, a lot of them. So many
Yeah,
die. I mean,
a young person.
I tweeted at Joe Biden, "You got the wrong Kamala," and he didn't tweet back at me.
Oh, what a bastard. He doesn't know. He's to have his people on it.
I know. Well, he looks real healthy lately.
Yeah, he looks real good.
See
All
it?
those interviews are
Oh my
on
God.
point.
I mean, what does he moisturize with? Cactus? Jesus Christ. I know we all age. We were talking we all age. I get it.
He needs
but
to get more adrenochrome and some baby
get some aloe vera and rub
some
it
baby
over.
blood on his face or something.
Dude, I bet he couldn't even like type in the security code when he comes into his house like fast enough when the burglar alarm goes on.
He's got like liver spots on his forehead. Like,
Got
God.
liver spots on his liver spots. This guy's old.
hello,
On his liver.
Old.
wrecked him. I killed him.
Yeah, our country's fucked.
Oh yeah, it's Trump for another 4 years. Dude.
For sure.
Biden's not like he's just not.
It's a joke.
I mean, if they were smart, they'd find a. I mean, my money's in the stock market, so I hope Trump's in there for another 4 years. But like, they were smart. If they really wanted to beat Trump, they would have a hot chick who knows what she's talking about. Because that's his whole thing: is you're ugly. You get a hot chick. He can't say you're ugly, and who's relatively smart.
See, this is why tandem parking is the 8th deadly sin. Dude, never has any chick ever fucked me because of the way I look. Not
But you're a good-looking
once.
dude.
I mean, thank you.
I mean, I'm not gay or
Look
anything.
at doggy
keep
Eleanor.
saying
She
that.
loves you.
I mean, you're not my type, but like, I go for more of a Jimmy Rogers. What the
Yeah.
fuck? Hello.
And so you're a bottom.
Two tops don't make a bottom. Jimmy, I'll take a chili dog.
We gotta get Jimmy on. That would be fun.
He's so funny. Like,
I love him.
and he's
yeah.
always with hot girls. Like if you ever
I would say he's a good
It's
person.
He would not be
crazy.
caught
It's-
dead with an
Yeah.
ugly girl.
watch
His
his
He would not be
Instagram,
caught
it's
dead.
like,
Yeah, his Instagram's great.
it's all big titted friends of his.
And,
he's just drinking.
Some of them
forgot-
are even chicks.
I think the
Hello.
girl was named Madison. Madison's super. She's super funny, and
the blonde.
yeah.
And then his friend
And
Kayla.
she says some fucked up shit. We gotta get her on too. Actually, she would be fun to have on.
We've really run the gamut on this podcast from rape to
We talked about it. We touched on
To
race.
accuse
We
From
Rape.
rape to molestation.
pro wrestlers.
I mean,
Jimmy
it's-
Rogers female.
it's all
friends.
trigger warnings, really.
I think we've tapped out.
Yeah,
Did
for
we
sure.
just tap out?
For sure. It's
No,
okay.
I don't know. It's on my podcast.
Well, I just ordered Zanku's chicken for everybody.
Yummy. I can't wait to eat food.
And some
That's the only reason
shawarma.
why I ever come out to this podcast at all.
Yeah, I usually cook for them, but today I just didn't have time. Mommy didn't have time today.
Mommy.
Aw, I'm looking
You know.
for a new mommy.
I bet you are. See you at the comedy store. There's
Is
some
that where I'm
mommies
gonna
up
find
there.
a nice girlfriend that will take care of me and make me dinner and stuff?
Well, I think once this is over, there's some girls up there who go to the store looking for, lovin's. It's not just guys who are fucking pigs.
Oh no,
Do you think?
without a doubt.
Do you think there's going to be just change in the entire dynamic of of comedy in terms of? Because think of how many open mic level early comics who have left. Do you think they're going to come back once things start to open up, or is that going to be too long?
They're not coming back.
I mean, it depends. It's like a lot of the store waitresses.
Didn't a bunch of them move home or move someplace else?
Some
they went
did.
back home.
Yeah.
Some did,
And
yeah.
so like comics who are moving. There's no money in LA comedy
That's what
with no pandemic.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Like New York, I think you could go to and eke out a living because there's like you could walk to 7 different clubs and get paid. Like here,
Don't you think it could change the dynamic of the road, of what the road was like?
oh yeah, like you make much less money. Like if a club's paying, doing social distancing and say is at 40% capacity, they're not going to pay you $5,000 for the weekend. They'll say, hey, here's $2,500, take it or leave it. It's 100 comics will do it for $2,500. Even a place like the Laugh Factory, like in all seriousness, they have one room. Like
Yeah.
at least the Comedy Store's 3 rooms. I could see them doing half capacity shows in all 3 rooms. And you could, I think the belly room they could leave out the back stairwell, the main room, the front. And the OR, I guess you could leave the front patio. So the crowds would never really interact. I mean, to a degree. But like Laugh Factory, you're gonna pay Joe Rogan his full fee and have a 30% capacity. Maybe they can. I don't know.
I feel like they could definitely have capacity now. Like they could do
Yeah,
half capacity now and just have people separated, in line and coming in, they can have masks once they sit down, they unmask or whatever.
Yeah.
They're doing the same thing at restaurants. I mean, there's lines at the grocery store. There's lines at all these other places. So it's just funny to me how people are just so behind them just shutting down comedy. I'm like, you guys should be standing up right now.
I don't want people to enjoy themselves, honestly.
That's what I'm
Why
saying. I'm like, just stand up for yourselves.
There's no entertainment. Like, you could have people sitting at a restaurant here, right? Like, let's say we're at a restaurant, we're here, and then there's another table right over there.
You have to stand up, put your mask on.
If
when you walk to the bathroom.
that guy over there has a microphone, you can't have that.
Right.
Like, how does that make any sense? There's still a person talking right there. In fact, there's fewer people because it's one person.
Yeah.
It's one fewer group of people in a room.
Yeah.
Plus, you have the stage area that takes out even more people space in the room.
Yeah, and I insist on having a barrier, like a barricade between the stage.
Plus, if you got Gallagher, you get the thing to hang up, and then that's really blocking
Who knows?
I don't know. I just think people should be really protesting in the streets about entertainment. People deserve to have entertainment, especially now. They could figure out a way. If you want to keep this whole charade up and just do the social distance and everything, the way they know if you have coronavirus, everybody with coronavirus has a fucking fever. They already do the fever checks at the door. Like, they check your
said they're
temperature.
going to start turning off power and electricity to places.
Well, they turned off the power. This is what Garcetti said. And it was because those YouTube stars or TikTok fans were having fucking ragers at their mansions because they're young kids who made all this fucking money from doing dances and doing weird videos. I'm not mad at them. They're gonna have parties. They want to see each other. They're young people. They're not worried about catching fucking COVID-19. Only people who should be worried about COVID-19 are people who have immune disorders. That's about it. Like, that's it. Children, no problem. Old people.
Let's face it, you got AIDS because of what you did. So why am I being punished for your AIDS?
Well, you know what? Fauci was the head of that at the time when the fucking AIDS shit came out too.
Did you notice all those gay people that fucking died? Thanks, Dr. Fauci. Let's put him in charge of some more stuff so more people can fucking die.
Yeah. And by the way, they've had a cure for God knows how long. It's just, they don't care, man. They don't care about people. It's all about money.
Christ and abstinence. That's the cure.
Abstinence is the only way to not get AIDS. And also, don't ever get a blood transfusion.
Tell that to the guy from Predator.
Yeah. And also, don't ever.
I don't buy his story.
And don't put your pee-pee up a butt that's like.
Don't
wear rubber.
Don't let a pee-pee get put up your butt.
Wear rubber.
It's even harder to catch AIDS than you think it is, fellas.
Rubbers really do suck, though. I mean,
absolutely. I can't find one that fits. Hello.
They don't make them that small.
No,
I think it's all population control. I think they fucking injected people with that shit. They injected people with that.
I wear trash bags.
I wear a Glad bag.
Yeah. What the fuck? This is the podcast that keeps going.
It's not even pleasurable for the woman. It's so big, it just hurts everyone. It hurts me too. Stop putting it in such a confined space.
What the fuck? What are we talking about?
Well, anyways.
On that note, let's get to the social media plugs.
Yeah. Do you have anything you want to plug?
Just your ass. Yeah. I'm at Earl Skakel everywhere. EARL SKAKEL. I'm even on TikTok, but I'm not very good at it.
Yeah, I don't understand TikTok. I don't think it's for us.
I think for older people, I might be the oldest person on TikTok. It's definitely.
Dude, it's for the Chinese.
I think it's the sense of humor, I think, is geared towards like funny dances and
people falling down.
If you didn't get invited to one of those mansion parties, you're not part of TikTok. Sorry to tell
Logan
you.
Paul
you're not part of it.
Yeah.
They're gonna shut their fucking water off though, which I think is funny.
He's like the perfect guy. I would think would kill on TikTok.
By the way, all those fuckers have solar panels, and they probably can order water. Like, they're good. You know who it's gonna affect? Poor people when their shit gets shut off.
Yeah.
Just wait for the blackouts, guys. Just wait for them to fucking.
Blackouts, okay.
Yeah. Nothing racist there. Just wait till they shut off everything.
Oh
my God. Yeah. The hackers got in. They turned off the power to the whole city of Los Angeles and New York. Isn't that strange?
No.
Wait for it. Mark my words. That's coming. That's
You
coming.
had your Second Amendment rights.
That's coming.
See it, Bohemian Grove.
It's coming. Just wait.
I'll see you in the bunker at Alex Jones ranch.
Yeah, I
Dude,
live underneath.
I wish
the
we could get Alex
Foundation.
Jones on this fucking podcast.
You
He
need
lives
Bill
in
Hicks.
Texas,
He'd
right?
probably do it.
I
He
mean,
actually
how do I
probably
get
would.
a?
He would do it by Zoom at the very least.
Oh,
We could
man.
Zoom him in for sure.
I would
That'd be
love to get a
amazing.
hold of him and just get him on the show, just because it would upset so many people. And also, most entertaining shit ever. That guy's entertaining as
He
fuck.
keeps it real. Like,
That he believes in that stuff.
Yeah,
hey,
very
anybody
real.
that stands
And when I
by
think
what
of
they
Alex
believe
Jones, I think
with
real.
documents, he always has documents. He
Columbine.
stands by it. I like that. I like that about a person. Fuck it.
Columbine was fake. And
I mean,
Yeah.
it is a little too good to be true. People
Oh,
listening
watch
to
out.
Maryland,
Dude, I gotta go.
and all of a sudden you gotta shoot everything up.
you guys got my plugs? I'm gonna jump out that window.
Yeah.
Keep the car running.
See you, Dylan Klebold's the memorial.
Oh, he's great.
He was great.
Yeah.
Who, Dylan Klebold or Alex Jones?
No,
Oh.
Dean Klebold.
He's got a son that does it, too.
The Columbine Killers. I thought he had a little bit more spunk.
All right, dude, I gotta. Yeah, can we wrap this up?
Yeah.
Hey, what's your favorite Weezer album?
That's a tough one. I don't like any of their albums. Like I like 7 or 8 of their songs, but they're all on different albums.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. They trick you that way.
I guess their debut, if you had to like say you can only buy one Weezer album, it would be the debut.
Yeah, that's how I feel too.
I think I do like their cover of Poison's "Talk Dirty to Me" because it's a very faithful cover. Like they're not
Oh
mocking
yeah,
it.
if they do a bunch of random weird covers like Hey Ya, they play
Yeah.
Hey Ya live.
I
Yeah,
saw them
Talk
do
Dirty to Me.
Africa with Weird Al Yankovic in the middle. Like it's a keyboard part in the song, but he does the accordion. And because I saw them play with the Killers at some music festival. It was, like, pretty,
Did you know Weird Al Yankovic met his wife at the Playboy Mansion? I guess that's kind of weird.
It's romantic.
I don't know. Just saying. He's
That's
not
weird,
really that
Al.
Nerdy. Yeah, not
Yeah,
nerdy
How
at
dare
all.
you, Al?
he's got the money though. Like these cunts up there. I'm sorry, these girls up there. You know, they're, oh, this guy's got a platinum album or two. Like, oh, suck it.
I saw Weird Al the week his parents both died tragically. They were asleep and their like heater broke, and then it just
Oh, it
suffocated
suffocated
them to
them.
sleep.
Carbon monoxide poisoning.
Uh-huh.
Their heater, space heater, or what
Well,
the
yeah,
fuck?
whatever it was. Well, it's in California, so they don't really need a real heater. So it probably was just a shitty space heater that did this to them.
That's how the guy from Predator died.
That's why I always leave the window cracked just a little bit.
He died of everything.
And if you've smoked cigarettes, you're kind of used to being
AIDS.
suffocated.
He had AIDS
Lives.
from a heater.
He got
a
AIDS
space
from
heater.
a space heater in his bedroom, and then he died. You know, the whole
That's the
thing.
story he told his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Hey, baby, it was fucking on a space.
I was just fucking a space heater. Come on. Hey, you should have seen the way it was dressed. All right.
Jesus, dude.
You know, one time I fucked a Stromboli, but I can't help it. You should have seen the way it was dressed. Hey, a Stromboli is a sandwich, ladies.
What are you doing, Joey and Jimmy Joe?
It's a sandwich, or I thought it was
Jimmy
Dude, that
or
was
Joey.
like-
I forget which is which.
Joey's the main stage. The Jimmys were like Whitesnake guitarists. They just fucking in and out. Hey, why don't Italians like witnesses?
Witnesses. The other guy just repeated what the first guy said. Their names on the fucking wall, dude. Both of them, Jimmy and Joey, are on the fucking wall. God damn it. I can't figure this out.
It's a tough
I
business.
must be a
man.
fucking retard. Jimmy and Joey figured it out, and I can't. I'm fucking stupid.
Start raping people.
Stupid.
Get automatic press.
I'm gonna do. I could
You
be.
could be the champ.
I could be Joseph
Vince Champ.
Patty instead of Italian. I'm Irish.
Stuttgart.
Yeah. So I was drinking some whiskey. Whiskey.
Because I'm a bad papa.
Because that's what my dad did every fucking day.
Stuttgart.
Stuttgart. All right, guys.
Keep on trolling.